Okay, today we're going to be learning about rounding numbers to the nearest 10. This is something that's very useful because it can help you from not being embarrassed, for example, when you go to the store. Let's say you go to McDonald's and you order french fries, a milkshake, a hamburger, and you get up to pay for it and the lady tells you how much it is and you don't have enough money to pay for it. That could be embarrassing. If you know how to round numbers to 10, is easier to add up the cost in your head, and then you'll know ahead of time if you have enough money to pay or not. Before we start, I want to review by counting to 100 by tens. So if you can all count with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Good job. And if you remember, when we have a number, we've got place values. Who remembers what place value is right here?
The ones.
That's the ones place value. And what about right here?
The tens.
Tens. And so this means we have 1 1 and we have 5 tens. Now, the number that comes before 51 when we're counting by tens would be what number?
50.
50. So I'm going to write 50 down on this side. This is called our rounding mountain. And the number that would come after 51 if we're counting by tens would be what?
60.
60. Now, we've been talking about pioneers. This is our covered wagon that is going up the mountain and over the mountain. When you use this rounding mountain technique, we're going to take our covered wagon. I wrote 51 on there, and it starts up the mountain, but it only gets to the 1 because there's a 1 in the ones place. If it doesn't get to the top of the mountain, it's going to slide back down the mountain. If it gets to the top, it will roll down to this side. So since it's going to slide back down to this side, what is it going to round to?
50.
50, not 60, because it never got to the top of the mountain. So 51, when we round it to the nearest tens, is going to be 50. Okay, who can give me another two-digit number?
47.
47, okay. So I'm going to write 47 on here. What would be the tens, nearest tens number before and after?
40.
40 and
50.
50. All right. So we take our wagon. How far on the mountain is it going to go? If we're looking at there's a 7 in the ones place. How far up is it going to go?
7.
Okay. So did it make it past the top?
Yep.
It did. So it's going to roll on down to this side, which is 50. So 47 rounds up to 50. And I'll go ahead and, whoops, rather than changing it, go ahead and put the 47 up here. And we know that it rounds to 50. All right, can you give me another two-digit number?
65.
Okay, that's a good one. 65. And what would be the two numbers before and after in the tens?
60 and 70.
Right. 1 is 60. We look at what's in the tens place. It's the same with a 0. And one more in the tens place would be a 7 with a 0. 70. What number is in the ones place here?
5.
5. So how far up the mountain will we go?
To the 5.
Okay, now remember, do you remember what I said when it's right on the top? Is it going to slide backwards or roll forwards?
Forwards.
Forwards, very good. So it rolls forward and rounds to what number?
70.
Very good. Okay, does anybody have any questions so far? Good job. Whoops. Okay, let's do one more and then we're going to take a look at the homework. Okay, can you give me another number? How about something that ends with one of these digits?
42.
42. All right, and since there's a 4 in this tens place, we're going to make this number what?
40.
And this one's going to be 1 bigger?
50.
Very good. Okay, what number's in the ones place for this number?
2.
2. So we want to know if it's going to round to 40 or round to 50. How far up does it go?
2.
To the 2. Is it going to roll back down or is it going to roll forward?
It's going to roll back
It's
down.
going to roll back down to the 40. So 42 rounds to 40. Now, can you think of a rule, after we've been doing these examples, can you think of a rule that we could make when we're rounding numbers? What could be a rule that we could make based on what we saw here?
If there's a 5 or higher in the ones place, it'll round up. If it's a 4 or lower, it'll round down.
Good. So anytime there's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end of the number, it's going to roll back, it's going to round down to the number that's the lower. So like here, you just go back to the 4 and make it a 0. But if it's 5 or higher, it's going to round up. So in this situation, we have like 47. It's going to round up to 50 because there's a 7 in the ones place. Now the homework today, you have a sheet that looks like this. It's a rounding mountain that's not quite the same, but it's the same kind of idea. And there's a number on each one right here in the middle. So what you need to do is write on this side, write the number that goes below it for the tens, and write the number that goes above it. So first we look at which place, the tens place or the ones place, when we want to know what number to write.
10s.
Tens. So we're going to take that same number, write it over here with a 0, and then what's one bigger?
60.
60. Now you don't have a car. If you want, you can get out your erasers and use that and move it along the top. What's in the ones place?
3.
So you're going to move it up till you hit the 3. You can even circle it if you want on your paper. So is it going to go back down or is it going to go over?
Back down.
Back down. So 53 rounds to 50, just like that. Any questions? Okay, the papers are being passed out and you can finish those and turn them into to the in basket. Thank you.